Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Puli, and today I'm gonna give the full updates about the project and the direction we're going, and the answer of the biggest question I keep getting in my DMs, at least when it comes to Discord. No, the game is not cancelled. I'm saying that right away because I keep getting messages asking if the project is dead, if the team quit, and if the development stopped. And I'm gonna answer this immediately. No, it is not dead. The team did not quit apart from the old team. But as well, the development just slowed down. That's practically all that's going on. So the answer is no. The project is still alive, and I'm still working on it. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about what's actually happening. First, I have to explain something important about this engine and why some changes are happening. The engine that this project has been running on started around 8 years ago, back when I was still in middle school. At the time, I was just starting to learn programming and game development. And honestly, we were still figuring everything out as we went. For the first few years, so we were, spending a lot of time just trying to recreate the Sonic physics, system. Momentum, slopes, acceleration, loops, springs, all those mechanics that make Sonic feels like Sonic. And I'm looking back at right now, and we're still learning. We didn't really understand the best ways to structure a game engine or even build a scriptable system yet. So over the years, the engine kept getting patched, revisited, rewritten, and modified to support new features. Every time a new mechanic was added or something broke, we would have to go back and adjust the code. Eventually, that led basically the system to technically work, but it was also messy and difficult to maintain. Now, fast forward to today. I'm currently a computer science student and almost done with college. And over the past few years, I spent a lot of time learning as well as doing my best to better programming practices. With, of course, studying game architecture, testing small projects that I've made. If you've seen some of my videos, as well as understanding how professional engines and systems are designed. Because of that, I realized something important. The current engine is not structured in the best way for the long term. It's a mess. But that doesn't mean it's useless or that the work was wasted. Actually, the opposite is true. Everything we built over the years helped us learn and what works and what doesn't. But if we want this project to grow and become something stable and actually something very successful, the engine needs to rebuild from the ground up. And it has to be cleaner and a more organized rate. What does it mean for the project? It means I'm planning to rebuild the core system of the engine. Meaning things like UI, stage control systems, physics, architecture, character systems, and costume systems. To be frankly honest, that was super new and has its own issues. Has to be rewritten with a much better structure behind them. The good news is that at this time I'm not starting blind. Well, blindly. I already have notes, documentation, and system designs written out for how these features should work. So while rebuilding sounds like a big task, it should actually just make development faster and smoother in the long run. Now, the other important update I want to talk about, and it's the direction of the project itself. Originally, the goal of this engine was to recreate something closer to Sonic Origins in 3D. We were we would eventually remake multiple class Sonic games inside the engine, but during development we realized that trying to build everything at once was slowing us down a lot. Each classic Sonic game had its own mechanics, objects, stages, and systems. Trying to support all of that at the same time made development very complicated. So after thinking about it a while, I decided to shift the focus and of course do to vote in the dev team. Instead of trying to build everything immediately, the new goal is to focus on recreating Sonic Mania first. Now, why Sonic Mania? Well, because Sonic Mania, I'll tell you the reason why for preference, but as well as the reason why. Because Sonic Mania already contains many of the mechanics and gameplay systems that we need for the larger vision of the project. It has classic physics, familiar stage structures, and a gameplay style that fits perfectly with the engine we're building. By focusing on Sonic Mania's style project first, we can develop the system we need in a much more controlled way. Once these systems are stable and working properly, they can later be reused for other classic Sonic games if we decide to expand the project further. So in any way, this shift is actually gonna meant to speed up things, not slow things down. Instead of trying to support everything at once, we're building a solid foundation first. Another important thing to mention is that the stage of development is not stopping. The work on stage environments, level assets, as well as visual elements can continue with the engine system are being improved. Those parts of them are separate, so they don't need to be wait for the engine to rewrite. Moving forward, I'm also going to be sharing more updates about the project of the new systems, the direction of the engine, and what parts of the game has currently being worked on. As well as you can check that through our Discord. And if you have any questions, feel free to go on Discord. I can try to read everything, and if I don't always respond immediately, I will definitely respond as soon as I can. But thank you all for everyone who stuck around, support the project, and continue to believe in what we were building here. The project has been around for a long time, and while the journey hasn't been smooth, every step that helped us learn and get closer to make something really special. More updates will be coming soon, and I thank you all for watching. Again, this is Puli Entertainment. Of course, my dog is with me, Buster the dog. I hope you all have a great day, great weekend, and of course, I'm going to be posting as many updates as possible through YouTube and Discord. So, wait for those updates to be coming out as we're planning to do as much as possible.